A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this collective channeling session, I would be sharing a love letter. For your personal situations, you can write to me at the Sunamoon@gmail.com after you go through the description box. Please do not share your twin flame journey in advance with me because I would be using spiritual tools and modalities to get you the right answers. Let's get started. My dear love, I'm writing this letter because I'm astonished by thinking how so right you were about our emotions and sure about true love never leaving us, no matter how much and how hard we try. For me, though, love meant physical presence, and I thought that out of sight would mean out of mind. But it seems there really is an invisible red thread attached to our pinky fingers that keeps us connected. Though I have tried a lot to deny how I feel for you, and also that there was no way out but to go away from you. However, it seems all of this is of no use because everything is fresh in my mind. As I continue to live my life, our connection and the accuracy of a lot of things you have said has started becoming more and more obvious. Time has played a very important factor and role in everything. As I continue to live my life, our connection and the accuracy of a lot of things you had said started becoming more and more obvious. For that, it has to be love in the first place. You knew that I was in love with you. However, you also spoke about my attachments and addictions. Both the analyses have been right so far, because I have been observing how my feelings for you kept shifting from time to time but never really left me. I have been having epiphanies and realizations of a profound nature. They make me leave everything that I'm into and just marvel at the feelings. I also think how literally everything on this plane is an illusion. How none of the very many things that have been imposed on us via programming are so not true. Through my practical experience, I have realized that a lot of things that I used to worry about or be scared of, they really are false. And for some of those false things, I let my love go. All of my experience reminds me of some of my dreams. There was one in particular where I found a gold coin and I touched it. It felt so real and tangible, so I kept it in my pocket. But when I woke up in the morning and I searched my pocket, it wasn't there. But still, the whole experience was so real. So which was a dream? The one where I was holding the gold coin or the one where I woke up without it? Similarly, which life was a dream? The one with you or the one without you? Love is something that never leaves us. Even though sometimes while wading through time, we might want to move away from it and look for happiness in the illusions. But when the effect of the illusion, all the false happiness, when it wears out, one can easily see that it was just a distraction, part of escapism. How I feel for you, I haven't felt that way for anyone. And I know this because of the test of time. I strongly feel that when we were together, I wasn't that mature to handle life. I missed you a lot, and whenever I saw you with someone else, or I felt that you don't feel for me as much as you used to, it hurt me a bit. But when you told me that I was looking for a mother, not a lover or an equal partner, that hurt my ego tremendously. I did want someone who could take care of me in many ways. Maybe because I didn't want to take care of anyone. Maybe I did want to be taken care of. But I always wanted to take care of you. But my situation, my conditions, my dependencies, as you said, my addictions, everything was coming in a way, and it was making everything so difficult as well. Back then, I did want someone who could take care of me in many ways. Maybe because I did want to be taken care of, and I did not want to take care of anyone else, including you. I did not want to take any kind of responsibility, or anything which looked difficult used to scare me. I always felt that maybe in future I would go through a lot of problem, and I didn't want to go through any of those problems. As it is, there were so many issues back then that I was dealing with. But yes, I was being selfish, and I did want everything to be easy peasy for me. And even though I wanted to take care of you, but so many things were connected to it. I was dependent for many other things. And I feel very bad about it today, that the choice that I made later on was more so to please everyone else, so that everyone would be pleased with me and they would just leave me alone, or I would just get whatever I wanted. I was an overgrown child. Through practical experience, I had to learn what really made me truly happy. I thought that I could get over you. I thought it could be like so many other relationships that ended and that I was into. I did keep a strong watch on you, but it was because I really cared for you and I missed you. There was something sad in missing you and not having you around the way I had wanted it back then. That sadness used to scare me. And I do accept that I only wanted good times so that my responsibility would be the least. I could word it out, but when I met people or potential partners who could make my life easy, I did gravitate towards them. Eventually, I was stuck in a very difficult space. The reason why I'm always stuck on you is also because you never gave up, or I never really saw you getting that affected by any vicissitudes of life. The ups and downs that usually trouble others, you cross them without taking anyone's help. And I realized this more when I had to deal with a lot of issues later on. When I thought life would become a honeymoon phase, when life would become easy and gentle, life threw more challenges at me, and I felt that I was much better with you actually. You did not take anyone's help, but I was codependent. And I can see others are too, but you were not. Or maybe you are not. Maybe you changed. You were not depending on me anymore, so you definitely changed. I always remain curious as to what energy runs your life. Looking at you, I changed my opinion about many things. It's so interesting to hear from you how you tackle situations. For me, the physical experience was so real, but when I could touch you, feel you, and be with you with my eyes closed during all the challenging situations, and even as I talk, I sometimes feel I'm still entrapped. My dear, I know as you listen to my words, you must be surprised, or I don't know, shocked that I am taking the name of God so many times. For me, spirituality never existed. It was a very illogical concept. It was a very unreal concept. I always thought that this is gibberish. To see you so deeply into it, not only practice it but also preach it while you were practicing it, you spoke about so many things, about peace of mind, about calmness, about gratitude, about accepting everything and not expecting anything. When you spoke about all these things, I actually took it very personally, and I have to accept that I did have a competitive streak at that point in time. I wanted to actually see you go through difficult situations because you always spoke about it. You always said that we should act in a certain way, or we should do certain things, and we should behave in a certain way. We should let go, we should forgive, we should be happy, we should accept our life the way it is. I might sound really mean right now, but I want to pour my heart out. There were two main reasons that I was running away from you. Number one was your immense interest in spiritual world, which I really did not understand at all. For me, it was completely new, absolutely new. If I would try to tell you that this is nonsense, this does not exist, this is all just gibberish, everything is what we do here, and I was able to see my life going in a logical and sensible direction. But when I would think of you and me together, I felt like I was probably with a hippie or with some kind of a gypsy woman, gypsy person. I did not understand it at all. All I knew was that we exist, we have a body, and a lot of things that you were saying and doing used to also annoy me. And then I don't know how and when, but I developed a competition with you. I developed some kind of a animosity towards you because many a times you were right and many a times you were so much different and so much better than how I would handle any situation. I developed this angle because I could see that in childhood I was always rejected, and I was not rejected for all the wrong things that I was doing, but I was mostly rejected for anything humane that I would get myself into. My family was scared that I would probably become some kind of a recluse. Maybe to them also I was acting as a person who was a bit different, so they subsided that difference and they started telling me that all the things that I was talking about, it was stupid, it was nonsense, it did not make any sense, so I must not act this way and I should not be a person who's delusional. Everything is in the here and now. I was getting mixed signals because now when I think about my life, being in the present moment is the best thing to do instead of living in your past. But what if you have loved someone in the past very unconditionally and they have loved you back? Should we not think about them in a fond way? I did want to see you in difficult situations and see how you're going to react. All of the preaching that you were doing to me about gratitude, about discipline, about spirituality, about God, I wanted to see how you would act when I would not be around you or things would not go as per you. That would be the real test of you. I also got convinced by a lot of people to believe that you were not genuine, that you were a phony, that you were just memorizing some lines from certain books that you were reading and you were just throwing at others. Whenever we had a group discussion or a hanging out session or trying to mix up with my family members or with my friends, you always stood out and they made certain comments about you. They were uncomfortable in your presence. I was not, they were. But since I was connected to them, I maybe felt that I was not with a really cool person. I was with someone who was embarrassing me. And I did get convinced by everybody else into believing that you were not a genuine person. You were not a genuine spiritual person. It's not like my people did not have any faith or they were not going to others or they were not meeting people for guidance. They definitely were. But they could not picture you to be someone they would want to take guidance from. All of that got totally mixed up in my head. And I'm also a human being. You have to cut a slack for me as well. I did not come from a background like that, and I really did not understand a lot of things that you were sharing with me. And yes, I did judge you back then. But when life taught me, and when I saw you, your growth, your prosperity, your progress, your independence, your awesomeness, if I was in your situation, I don't know what I would have done. But you just rose up from the ashes. You're the phoenix bird. And you know how to turn all the lemons into lemonades and pickles and whatnot. You really know how to turn things around for yourself. And when I saw you doing some wonderful things in life, it made me realize that everybody else around me was delusional, but I was not. And now I think it's my punishment too. Because if I get everything so easily, I would never feel that I am worthy of it or I deserve it. But I'm just satisfied to know that you proved me and a lot of people wrong. People of your age look tired, boring. It seems they have a monotonous routine. But you look happy because I watch you, and more happy to feel how strong and inspiring you are. There is nothing other than maybe body consciousness that brings people out from their despair. But I'm not delusional as long as God and love is on my side. One more thing I noticed is that people want to feel relevant, but you don't need anybody's stamp or approval or validation. Not even mine. Because I also have opposed you and created roadblocks for you due to my spiritual immaturity. Seeing you still do what you love and prove everyone wrong has given me also solid ground. Because those people who wrote you off are still in my life. And they can now see how wrong they always were and that I should not have followed them or believed their opinions. I am very curious to see where this will all eventually lead to, but I won't be surprised or shocked. Thanks for empowering the one who didn't believe in you like maybe the others did. Others who support you, others who are your cheerleaders, others who stand by you, others who believed in you. Definitely I was not that person, but now I do. I'm sorry. I love you always.